Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Shadow Granbull with the fast move Snarl as well as the new Fabian variant of Clefable in the Open Ultra League. We've seen already a few videos about Fabian Clefable, but I'm gonna spice it here a little bit up here with our Granbull having the fast move Snarl. You know already, if you follow my channel for longer, I just love to play this Pokemon with the fast move Snarl. As we're going to encounter here the first opponent having the Jellicent against us here right now, and we're gonna do so much more damage now with the Crunch plus Snarl, both super effective compared to like Charm, which doesn't generate energy, allowing us to flip switch here, and also going to allow us now to hopefully realign, but the opponent already realizes they most likely had something weak against me in the back, and they just decided to forfeit. And next opponent, we're going to have a very decent lead for us, but in comes now the Tapu Fini, which we can now retaliate with our Clefable, which has, of course, variant here. We have an XL variant, but it's just slightly XL. You see the IV spread on the side as well. I have a rank 2 that I could build for this Pokemon, but I don't really want to use the Stardust for it. My opponent gets the debuff here. I don't know why I went for the Meteor Mesh. It doesn't make sense, but it doesn't really matter because we can still knock them out and we can realign, which is really important for me. I was so happy that the opponent allowed me to realign here because now I have my Swampert against the Charizard, which is of course a very good matchup for me as the Hydro Cannon gonna get shielded up by the opponent. They can go ahead and go for the Blast Spring here right now, but they still have to use their own shield, or they're gonna go down to my Swampert here right now, which both of them going to be fine for me. We actually shielded up the right move as well with the Blast Burn, and I think they're gonna get to another one here as well. So I'm going to just overfarm at this point of time, expecting the opponent to be pretty weak against Swampert in the back if they stay in here, and it's going to be their own Swampert. And at this point of time, I kind of try to get up to 2 charge moves, I think, so I can maybe snipe the opponent's Charizard later. But we still have to get to a move here. Can we survive one Earthquake? We are Shadow variant, but we can still survive that one, allowing us to go for our own close combat here, going to knock them out. And the opponent's Charizard will not have enough health or like not enough energy here to go for another Blast Burn. So we can go ahead, go for the Hydro Cannon and win this game. Good game there. Let's take a look at the next opponent for this video. We're going to see the Pidgeot in the lead. Pretty bad lead, to be fair. This is a lead that I really don't like to play against. I'm just gonna go straight for the Hydro Cannon to get some damage onto the opponent as they're going to shield this move up. I expect them to go for the bait here. If they shield up the first move, usually they bait you the second one, but no, they're gonna go for the Brave Bird, and that's going to be a tough one to come back from. As they can at least still go straight for the Crunch here, maybe show one for the Close Combat instead, because it doesn't knock them out, and I definitely show one for the Close Combat here, which would have easily knocked them out. In comes now the Feather Dance, which at least this time around we were able to call, and let's see what's coming in from the opponent. It's going to be a Scrafty, and this is going to be very nice for me as I can go ahead and go for the close combat spam here. As you're gonna get the first shot of the opponent, of course, it doesn't really matter what they're going to do now, because we have still a Clefable in the back, we still have our Swampert, which I think has some energy here, but we can just farm them down anyway. We don't really care too much about it. A foul play does basically 0 damage against us. Clefable is insanely bulky for the Ultra League, most likely, in my opinion, the best upgrade from this season for the Ultra League right now. Other than, of course, Warren, which was already strong prior. But at least here we're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Moonblast against the opponent's Jellicent. We have still 2 shields. And you see already 2 Moonblasts will be enough to easily knock out the opponent. And we're going to just take advantage of that. Just use all our shields here and go for our charge move. Going to be able to now knock out the opponent and win this game. Let's take a look at the next one. We're going to encounter here now a very decent lead for us, which is going to be the Tentacruel, but in comes now the Cofagrigus. I was a little bit late at swapping, but I can go ahead and go for the Crunch here. So let's take a look at what we're going to get here. We're going to get the Dark Pulse against us. If we let this move go through, we would have been easily able to go ahead and survive that one. But like this, we're still going to be able to go for a double Crunch, and we should be able to knock them out even now, or like with the additional fast move damage afterwards. I still have to shield once now, but I'm gonna get out of this matchup with, I think, 3 Snarls worth of energy, which is going to be pretty decent, because in comes now the Tentacruel, and we can at least get some damage onto them as well, and we can realign, which is the most important thing here right now. We have to have our Swampert aligned against the Tentacruel in order to win this game here. We have to hope that there's something in the bag that we're going to be able to beat with our, what's called our Clefable there, but we're going to get now the Buzzwole. It looks pretty decent for me so far, but Buzzwole I actually thought I would not be able to knock them out straight away, and I definitely should have played this a little bit differently. Because I should have uncharged this here for sure, I should have definitely uncharged, but I thought after the lunge it most likely doesn't knock them out, but I did knock them out. And like this, the opponent going to be able to farm me all the way down. This is basically the only player really winning this game here, to let me, to let basically this move go through as well. Just farm me down here, get to 2 scores and win this game for them. Very smart decision by them. I just misplayed it, to be fair. Like, if I just went ahead, went for Undercharge, or even went for the Meteor Mash instead of the Moonblast, I would have been able to farm down the opponent, get a little bit more of the clock as they're running Scald plus Blizzard lead. That is insane. But definitely something that could have been winnable, but I did kinda misplay that. Next opponent, a Dragonite lead, in comes the Walrein here, and of course we're going to have our Granbull, Shadow Granbull, going to do a ton of damage here with the incoming close combat. This is going to at least get a shield and also get them super low here. It does knock them out, as you're going to see here, but we're gonna get the shield from the opponent here right now if they don't want to allow us to align our Clefable against them here. But they're going to just go ahead, farm me down. I can go into my Swampert, I can get a ton of energy here. I'm not going to throw here, but I'm going to be able to get basically the worth of, I think, a Hydrocan here in terms of the energy. I'm going to shield up the Earthquake here, which is really important. And we can swap out now, and we're gonna get out the opponent's Swampert. I'm curious on how this matchup gonna go down here. I can go for one Moonblast and it's going to do a ton of damage, but not enough to knock them out here. Not even close. Even if they would be Shadow, I don't think it would have knocked them out. But we're going to be able to shield up the Earthquake here, and this is going to be super important for this matchup, because now I should be able to just go ahead and go for the spam of Meteor Mash, and this is going to be so beneficial for me. As the Meteor Mash coming through here, gonna get the shield, I will be able to reach another one in time. This should knock out the opponent, I think, even though it is resisted, and it does knock out the opponent. I can swap out into my Swampert, because we have already a lot of energy stored here. We can go for the Hydrocan spam, and while the opponent going to be usually able to beat me pretty easily here, I will be able to just go ahead, tank those moves, and just farm them all the way down here with my Clefable, go for one Meteor Mash, and win this game. Even if they got it to another charge move, they had Dragonclaw, double resisted, superpower resisted, plus debuff from the other superpower, so we should have been fine here no matter what, I think. But that's going to be a very good game. Next opponent, the Deoxys is coming in here. We're going to be able to resist the counter with our Granbull. Because the health doesn't really matter too much on Granbull, you just do damage with the charge moves anyway. We let this move go through, which was a wise decision at the end there. What is not a wise decision is go for a bait here, hoping that you get the debuff. Like, the bait is actually kind of fine here usually, because you have a 30% chance to get the debuff, you have a pretty high chance to get the shield from the opponent, both of which would be really decent for you, but like this, it's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to be able to overfarm like quite a bit and go up to 2 close combats here at this point of time. Should be able to reach them here and just knock them out. Let's see, they're going to shield this move up because they actually were already in another charge move. I didn't expect that I'm going to let this move go through, and maybe this was a mistake, but I kind of just wanted to keep my shield alive, which I'm going to lose here anyway because I cannot get to the Earthquake in time because the opponent gets to the Focus Blast here. Going to get my shield. Now it's going to be a little bit tricky here, but I can at least go up to 100 energy and hope that I can farm them all the way down after this Hydrocan because it still doesn't knock them out. But now I have basically 100 energy on my Swampert. In comes the Deoxys. Boom, Earthquake is coming through, and that did a ton of damage. Yes, we can go ahead and go for another charge move. And because I now at a Psycho Boost, I'm going to swap out into my Clefable, catch the move, knock them out with the incoming Fairy Wind here right now, which I was able to snuck through. And then comes now the Snorlax. And Snorlax is going to be pretty bulky, but not really bulky enough to take those stab Moonblast from Clefable. As you see already, the opponent going to decide to forfeit this one. Let's take a look at the next game. We're going to have a Tapu Fini in the lead. This is going to be a little bit awkward. Tapu Fini is really difficult for you to deal with for this team. Both your lead as well as your say so are kind of tricky for it. But you can still definitely win this if you're gonna get the baits correctly. And we're gonna get the bait first off here with the Hydrocan against the opponent here. Earthquake would have done a ton of damage. So it was clear that they're going to shield one move up here, but we can go ahead and go for another Earthquake, and we're gonna get another shield, which is going to be okay for us because we're gonna put them even into Moonblast range right now. But who needs Moonblast if you have Earthquake on a Shadow Swampert? That's our Shadow Swampert with basically perfect AV, 0, 15, 15, kinda nice. Going to be able to get to the Earthquake and knock them out. Now we won the lead, and now we're gonna get out a Berserker. Berserker has no single charge move that's going to be really able to hit a Fairy type Pokemon. But look at this, the opponent swapped into their Steel type Pokemon, and we can say goodbye to that one because Granbull is now going to town. We're going to see already, they usually don't run Iron Head. They would have the opportunity to go for Iron Head here, but they don't run Iron Head, and we can just go ahead and go for another close combat while the opponent forfeited already. At this point of time, the opponent already knew that there was literally nothing they can do here. We're going to have a very decent lead for us. We have to keep that lead somehow, but we're going to get out a Tapu Fini. That's going to be a very tricky one now. We're going to be easily able to outspeed the opponent. They generate 3 energy per turn. We generate 4.5 energy per turn, allowing us to definitely outspeed them quite easily as they go for one Surf here, which is going to be a little bit tricky for us. We could actually just go ahead and go for the Meteor Mesh spam here. Maybe I'm actually going to do that, I'm not sure about this, but I can also go for the Moonblast. Oh no, I actually go for the Meteor Mesh spam. Let's see if this is going to do enough damage to knock them out with 2 moves, and it does. Hopefully we can realign here, please. I can't have the other Pokemon on me, and yes, they're going to let this move go through, which is insanely important, but sadly, they're going to have the best answer really for our Swampert. Usually Trevenant is okay to deal with, especially with our Crunch Granbull here. The matchup for Granbull is really decent, but not if the opponent has a lot of energy already there. So at this point of time, we are in a tough spot, but honestly the opponent makes a completely unnecessary but a very nice catch here on the Skuntank. It literally didn't help them at all to redo that here. They could have just swept me there already with a Trevenant, but I guess I want to draw it out a little bit with their Skuntank here, which is totally fine. They make it just a little bit safer for themselves. I have to try to get some extra energy here, so I'm going to undercharge. Turns out this was pretty decent, but I have to go for 2 Hydro Cannons, and I just misclicked, to be fair. Should have went for an Earthquake then instead. Think they still win CMP anyway, so I don't think it really mattered too much, but if I just got to the move there, I'm not sure. Maybe an Earthquake would have been enough. I thought I actually clicked on the move, but I guess I just tapped next to it, which is my own fault then, so not really ideal, but still a good game to the opponent, well played by them. Very well played by the opponent there, nice comeback there. Also going to see the opponent here with a Virizion. I was like, oh, they're staying in, they know that I don't have Charm, but no, they're going to swap out into their Walrein, which literally does not appreciate any close combat here. So I take that one, I will be able to now just let this move go through, go into my Swampert, try to farm them all the way down. Should have waited out the clock here, this was kinda not ideal to not, wait out the clock. But I still can go for one Hydro Cannon. I try to swap out here, but the opponent luckily just waits out a little bit, allowing us now to go ahead and go for our Clefable against the opponent's Virizion. And Clefable is now the way to a victory here. If Clefable doesn't shine, I have nothing I can do here anymore. In comes an Auroras, and here is where Meteor Mesh really can shine. Meteor Mesh gonna get the shield first. I try to get to the next one, but they can go ahead and go for their own charge move first. I have to get out of this matchup with a little bit of energy as well, I feel like. So I'm going to overfarm by a little bit there, and they're kinda forced to shield this move up. But they don't do that for whatever reason. I'm not sure about this one, but we're going to be able to try to go ahead and try to catch a move, which didn't work out, but we're going to put them now with the Hydro Cannon here into the range for just Meteor Mesh. And at this point of time, we're just going to be able to just let this move go through. We're going to get knocked out by the opponent here for sure, but I'm not sure. I think we're going to be fine here. We can just go for the Meteor Mesh spam. I should be able to get another fast move in after this one. Do I win CMP though? Do they even have 2 moves now? I am curious here, I have no idea to be fair at this point of time, but I get the CMP tie here and the win I think from that one. Honestly curious if I didn't have the non-fully XL variant of this Pokemon, if I would have also won this game here. Let me check it real on the side what the attack basically from Virizion is, because Virizion seems to be a very bulky Pokemon, while we're going to encounter here a Talonflame, which is pretty awkward to deal with, to be fair. The Clefable is also very bulky, and no, actually, even if you fully XL, you're still going to be able to win CMP with a Clefable against a Virizion, which is kind of good to know, though. So, like, even if you build the perfect fully XL variant there, you're still going to be able to win that CMP tie. What is not really ideal is how I play this game here. I thought Talonflame would lose against Swampert in terms of the CMP tie, and this was what I thought the entire time, so I went for a CMP tie. Turns out I lose that with Swampert. I haven't played this matchup for ages. There's a difference of like 4 attack between them, so should have known that, could have known that, my own mistake again. But like this game is kind of over. I'm going to be able to go ahead and still go for one Hydro Cannon at least here against the opponent, try to bait the move, which works out pretty well, as I'm going to be able to catch a move here onto our Clefable. But honestly, it's going to be the Earthquake. There's not a lot that I can really do here. The opponent can still go for another charge move while they go into their Charizard. I will be able to go for a Moonblast here. But yeah, like the only play is if they don't, like if they can go to another Moonblast, but no, they're going to be able to go for a knockout here with their Dragon Claw. I feel like this is going to be a good game, as I have to try to still get to an Earthquake, and as the opponent still has a lot of energy here, this will not happen and I will lose this game. So yeah, this is going to be it for this video. This team is definitely still a lot of fun to play, works out pretty well for me. Definitely Clefable, great upgrade for the Ultra League. And yeah, this is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. There are 2 videos on the screen, check them out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.